Today our topic is how to manage anger like a Stoic. Anger is a natural emotion, but if we don't control it, it can harm us and those around us. The Stoics, ancient philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, believed that anger is a destructive force that clouds our judgment and leads to regret. They taught that managing anger is not about suppressing it, but understanding it and responding wisely. Let's explore how we can use Stoic principles to handle anger better. First, we need to understand that anger often comes from unmet expectations. We expect people to act a certain way, and when they don't, we feel frustrated. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control others, only our reactions. Instead of focusing on what others should or shouldn't do, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and responses. This shift in perspective helps reduce anger because you stop blaming others and start taking responsibility for your emotions. Another Stoic idea is to pause before reacting. When you feel anger rising, take a moment to breathe and think. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." By pausing, you give yourself time to calm down and see the situation more clearly. Ask yourself, is this worth getting angry over? Will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? Often you'll realize that the issue is not as big as it seems. This pause prevents you from saying or doing something you might regret later. Stoics also advise us to practice empathy. Try to see things from the other person's perspective. Maybe they are having a bad day or didn't mean to upset you. Understanding their situation can help you feel less angry and more compassionate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When someone irritates you, it is only your own opinion that irritates you." This means that your anger comes from how you interpret the situation, not the situation itself. By changing your perspective, you can reduce your anger. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. Instead of wasting energy on things you can't change, focus on improving yourself. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you can't control their actions, but you can control your reaction. You can choose to stay calm and not let their behavior ruin your day. This mindset helps you stay peaceful, even in frustrating situations. Another important Stoic practice is to prepare for challenges in advance. Marcus Aurelius said, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.' By expecting difficulties, you are less likely to be surprised or upset when they happen. This doesn't mean you should expect the worst, but rather that you should be mentally prepared for life's imperfections. When you accept that people and situations won't always be perfect, you are less likely to feel angry when things go wrong." Stoics also believe in reflecting on our emotions. At the end of the day, take a few minutes to think about your reactions. Did you get angry today? Why? Could you have handled the situation better? This reflection helps you learn from your experiences and improve over time. Seneca wrote, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" This daily practice of self-reflection helps you become more aware of your emotions and reactions, making it easier to manage anger in the future. Another Stoic technique is to practice gratitude. When you feel angry, try to shift your focus to the things you are grateful for. This helps you see the bigger picture and reminds you that life is not as bad as it seems in the heat of the moment. Gratitude helps you stay positive and reduces the intensity of negative emotions like anger. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be grateful for the people and opportunities in his life, even when things were difficult. This attitude helped him stay calm and focused. Stoics also encourage us to accept that life is full of challenges. Anger often comes from resisting reality. When we fight against what is happening, we create more stress and frustration. Instead, Stoics suggest accepting life as it is and focusing on how to move forward. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By accepting the situation, you can focus on finding solutions instead of dwelling on the problem. This mindset reduces anger and helps you stay productive. Another key Stoic idea is to avoid taking things personally. Often, we feel angry because we think someone is intentionally trying to hurt us. But most of the time, people's actions are not about us, they are about their own issues and struggles. By not taking things personally, you can avoid unnecessary anger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." This means that you can choose not to let someone else's behavior affect your peace of mind. Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-discipline. Managing anger requires practice and effort. You need to train your mind to stay calm in difficult situations. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice you can become better at controlling your emotions. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By developing self-discipline, you gain control over your emotions and reactions, making it easier to manage anger. Finally, Stoics remind us to focus on the present moment. Anger often comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. But the only moment we have control over is the present. By staying focused on what is happening right now, you can avoid unnecessary anger. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This means living fully in the present and not letting anger from the past or future ruin your peace of mind. In conclusion, managing anger, like a Stoic, involves understanding its root causes, pausing before reacting, practicing empathy, focusing on what you can control, preparing for challenges, reflecting on your emotions, practicing gratitude, accepting reality, avoiding taking things personally, developing self-discipline, and staying present. These principles help you handle anger in a healthy and constructive way. Remember, anger is a natural emotion, but it doesn't have to control you. By applying Stoic wisdom, you can learn to manage your anger and live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. The journey to mastering anger is not easy, but with patience and practice you can become more resilient and emotionally balanced. As Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." So, take control of your anger, and you will find greater peace and happiness in your life.